Planet of the Fakes for Women. And Pig Star HH News. Great ad, but unfortunately the left and right wing are part of the same bird. Give me a solution that works without blaming the other guy for the problem. A political solution is a oxymoron. Mark Clark, thank you for that comment. I agree. Mark Clark, you hit the nail on the head. Mark Clark, usually the Democratic policies are the ones that cause all of this compared to the Republican policies. I do agree that they're part of the same bird, but one wants to soar while the other gets plucked of all its feathers. Mark Clark, it'll go past a city. Look at South Dakota. Republican ran. Look how good they are doing. Mark Clark, that's such a cute little saying, but it does nothing to help. It actually is an attempt to push some of the blame away from where it belongs. Show me a ghetto and I'll show you a city ran by Democrats. Mark Clark, if that's true, why are Republican-run cities and states not like this? Mark Clark, stop. They Dems turned this place into a toilet. 53 years under their rule. Lyle Dustin, how many black people live in South Dakota? Chris Alex, Republicans have been in charge in Kentucky for generations. It's as bad or worse than Baltimore. Drugs, grinding poverty, like third world poverty, poor schools, no opportunity. I lived there for a while. Don't tell me Republicans got the answer. They most certainly do not. In fact, what states have the most poverty and worst schools? Southern states run mostly by Republicans. The other party to this problem is the American people. They only care about their own shit. Suggest maybe stop subsidies to profit-making companies or, God forbid, taking some funds from the military to improve schools, offer vocational training, or apprenticeships in skilled labor, and the whole country howls like a squalid hound. Somebody get in something I didn't get. Nothing but greed and selfishness. Bottom line, no education or training, no job. No future. No future equals drugs and crime. And I hope whoever coined the term, defund the police, gets lockjaw. Like it or not, a police force is needed. However, they need better screening and training. We all know that by now. And they should not have to answer calls for problems for which they have no training or expertise. There should be rapid response teams with training in handling domestic and mental health troubles or a kid out of control in school. Those are not calls for the police and must be very frustrating for them. Not defund. Redirect and refocus. We either quit pointing fingers and seeing all our troubles as one side against the other. The answer rests between those two sides. Mark Clark, I agree for the most part. The underlying idea of the Republican Party is a small government. Democrats want a large, all-powerful government and created just that over time. All of our country's wealth has been devoured by this monster. Peggy Smith, Kentucky is a mixed state. We just elected Beshear and he's Democrat. Not a good example. Peggy Smith outside of Louisville, Democrat. Kentucky is actually really nice. Peggy Smith, the governor of Kentucky, is a Democrat. So your statement is not completely accurate. Totally agree with you, Mark. Peggy Smith still way better than any Democrat-run state or city. If it's a failed city, it's 90% likely it's run by Democrats. Mark Clark, totally support you, my friend. These wannabe career politicians only play the game to be elected. Clearly she is just a smooth talker, no real sense of the partisan reality in America. She basically disregarding the peoples on Black Lives Matter and weighing in with political rhetoric. Man face-palming medium dark skin tone SHM. Democrats this and Republicans that. More division and stupidity about who's better than who. Mark Clark, you must get pretty confused sometimes. Own snake. Two heads. The political system in the US is fucking broken. Mark Clark, that's what Democrats do. That's their only talking point, blaming President Trump for everything. Mark Clark, get off the fence, buddy. Stop complaining if you don't believe in anything. Peggy Smith, wrong. I live here and the left have run Kai for decades predominantly. Vote right at the Fed level, left at state level. Mark Clark, there is a difference between the two. Mark Clark, do you think people burning and stealing from business for something to do with BLM? Tell me what they achieving by doing that. And the Republicans, they need to pull their finger out of their ass and do what's good for the country, not for their fucking pocket. That the solution, you moron. Mark Clark, damn, you spoke facts and people again prove your point. Our political system needs a revamp. We always have to choose between a douche or turd sandwich. Notice how it's always this and Republicans that and never this person in the political system. Did X Peggy Smith not true? Kai has had plenty Democrat governors, excluding Louisville. The rest of the state is octot. Mark Clark mostly correct, sadly. But she does have a great point when she talks about democratically controlled cities and states. Jorge Hernandez wonder why you're bringing BLM into this. Straight out of left field. Mark Clark, absolutely spot on my friend. Victory hand and sparkling heart from the UK flag of United Kingdom. Mark Clark pretty much why I've been trying to make each tribe see as independent is they are not that different at the top until they want us distracted by issues at the bottom. It's gross we are so blind and tribal agree. However anything and anyone who disrupts the two-party system by say being a woman, under age 50, or a minority, is impactful. Chris Alex so you're saying the Dems are part of a different political system? Mark Clark damn bruh couldn't have said any better. Thumbs up sign medium dark skin tone Chris Alex because they all run a racist town. Show me a Republican city with majority of blacks. She walked around the same couple of streets in the whole video. All of Baltimore doesn't look like this. As a matter of fact, all major cities has a part of town that run down and has closed down businesses. There's plenty of Republican-run cities that aren't doing very well. Black people aren't the only ones living in poverty in Baltimore or anywhere else. She's not going to do anything different to change the situation in Baltimore. Just another Republican pandering for the black vote because that's who she needs to impress to win that district. Kim, we were doing business in downtown Baltimore and it was literally frightening. Not BC of the people, but BC you can't do commerce in the city. Buildings are boarded up and downright scary. That's so incredibly unfair. The people that live there have no choice. They can't sell their properties. BC they are unlivable. If we still live there we would support you. You are what Baltimore needs. I love that town. Great ad, but name a city with that same demographic that has gotten better that is controlled by Republicans. Dim or Rep, 50-cent piece of the same dollar. Both sides' policies come up short and that's because none of the people elected live in these areas. They're not incentives to make these areas better and we don't have any good common sense leaders anymore, just ambitious business people that make pretty ads. I don't care what side you vote, but our underserved communities need to nurture leader from own cities that have a vested interest in them. This video brought no solutions, only pointed out what will still be the same a few years from now. Where is her son?